Okay, Moby Dick swing continues. Today, we're going to discuss a little bit about internal rotation and external rotation. Okay, and there is no, by the way, right or wrong. Just you have to recognize what kind of position you are using, and also characteristics. And when you do certain, choose certain type, there's a tendency. So that's what you need to be aware of. Again, this is expansion of core skeleton of Moby Dick swing. 2.5, your pivot will get you less than 90 at P5, get you better chance at P7, 7.5, 8, 9, 10. I hope some of you will do that drill daily, P1 through P10, okay? Anyway, so this is the easiest way to understand the rotation. Now, I'm gonna look at it, turn to the side. Let's say someone is standing the other side, and then we're gonna do arm wrestling. So I'm going like this, and then we put arms together, hands to each other. This is a neutral position. Once again, if I do it here, that's a neutral position. Now, if I'm winning, so this side's this way, that's called internal rotation. Now, from this side, I'm losing to my opponent. From here, this way, I'm losing to my opponent. That's external rotation. Okay? So when you do your backswing, now it's easy. Take a look at this. I turn around, and then your position, your elbow position like this, that's a neutral position. If your elbows look like this, that's internal position, internal rotation. And then when you turn more of this way, that's external rotation. Okay, that's simple. All right, so what you need to recognize is during the backswing, whether you are a person at the top look like this, internal or neutral or more external. Okay, now which one do you prefer? Jack Nicklaus is more internal, Tiger's more slightly internal to neutral, and there are other people are external. Okay, now out of three, I believe neutral is the most sensitive, most advantage. Because take a look at this. Always neutral is most comfortable position, not external, nor internal or external. Internal or external. Neutral is very natural position for human being to do natural position. Okay, so as you doing your swing, doing your backswing, and then you have to monitor what's happening to your rotation. Okay, now having said that, take a look at this now. When you go through, if your elbow is now going this way, so that's the internal rotation, and then if your elbow is going more this way, that's external rotation. Again, from here, if you're going to this way, notice that I'm winning, so I'm doing more internal rotation, versus now that's more external rotation. See, I'm losing, right? So you have to know basically what's happening after P5, P6, P7, whether you prefer internal rotating or prefer external rotating or somewhat neutral. See this right here? Somewhat neutral. Internal rotating, external rotating. Okay? So you need to be aware of basically what they are and what they look like through the video. Okay? Now, I'm gonna go one step further. Okay? Let's say you chose, we're not gonna go any other grip other than interlocking or overlapping grip, let's say. And we're not gonna go too weak grip nor too extra strong grip like this. Okay, somewhere weak grip to neutral to slightly stronger grip to maybe strong all the way to the right edges, okay? So take a look at this for a second. If you are, let's say, weak grip, if you're weak grip, and now take a look at the face, if you are favoring of external rotating, club is open. Now your weak grip, here you have to internally rotate to square the club. Okay? Again, you have to follow along. Now let's say you did a stronger grip, almost to the right shoulder. This V pointing it to the right shoulder. Let's say you did that. Okay? When you do that, now take a look at this. You come through, impact, you internally rotate, see that it shuts the face. From here, P6, you have to do almost external rotate to have this club square. So you have to, again, match it with your grip type and also the rotation of, we call it which way this shoulder is, your armpit, forearm is actually moving. There's a separate category from your elbow up, this position can be stationary now, it can do a bunch of other separate move, but we're not gonna go to that today, all right? So be aware of different type of rotation and then also grip that you chose to do, okay? So think about it, then out of those choices, for the right-hander, you can play any way you want, but modern days and olden days, as you know, if you are the right-hander, generally we see if you avoid left, you have a chance to become a good player. Let's say avoiding right versus left, I would say 70-30. I'm more biased avoiding left, meaning hooking low, pull hook will give you disasters. Push by dramatic hook also it will be disaster. Straight pull to the left and it will be disasters. So according to the type of shot that you chose to do, what can contribute to balls going to the left, losing your ball to the left, is partially how you spin the ball will dictate that, but also where the initial direction balls go. Okay, so this is one of the huge contribution of TrackMan introduced, I believe, to around early 2000, is that this club face angle determines if it's iron versus wood. There's more to woods than iron, but roughly 70 to 80% of initial direction is controlled by this club face angle. So if it looks directly to the camera, your ball will start straight. If your club face is pointing to the right like this, the first base, and then that's how you enters as P7 position, ball will start to the first base. And also, if this club face is pointing it to third base, then ball will start. Initial direction is the third base, okay? So if that is true, I believe there's a pretty scientific data, so we can trust on that. Initial direction is controlled by the face of the face angle. So take a look at this. If you decided, let's say, you decided to use weak grip, and then you decided you have to incorporate pivot and everything, but eventually you have to internally rotate the club. As you do internally rotate, moving that position, doing this position like winning the arm wrestling, take a look at what club face tend to do. If you don't monitor, if you don't pay attention to it too much, it has a tendency to shut the face. See that right there? See that? That's internally rotating. So something to think about. Now, that's why when you see people hitting fade with a, let's say, stronger grip, see that stronger grip there? And then basically what they do with this, they know in order for them to square the club, if they internally rotate, is it double the disasters. So what they're doing is, what they have to do to ball to not to go initially left is by, instead of internally rotate, you have to externally rotate. When you externally rotate, see that club face? Club face opens it for you. Even if you hold the club really strong grip, you come through, externally rotate, it opens the club face for you. That's why a lot of players these days holding a strong grip, but they do externally rotate so that club face angle does not look left. By this move, they are opening the club so that angle doesn't point to the left. I know this is a lot to think about, but you might have to watch this video several times. But I want to bring this out early enough so that you can think through instead of get really confused. All right? Have a nice day.